started the brand after Liv and Lily were born, my firstborn twins. They had very sensitive skin. And I was the first person in my friends group to have kids. So I hadn't really planned, I didn't really know anything. So they were born in week 38. So they went all the way. Even though they were considered premature, they couldn't really suck. They had all these different complications. And one of them was very sensitive skin. And I had no idea what to do. I tried everything, the breast milk, the oil baths, everything, but it really didn't help. So a pediatrician told me about this amazing cotton from Peru, Pima cotton. I had no idea what it was or how I could get it because it wasn't available on the European market at all. But I was lucky because a friend's grandma lived in Peru. So we ended up getting 10 kilos of Pima cotton sent to Sweden. And I just did these little LIVLY outfits. They were like gowns with arms, basically. And as soon as I got the fabric, I was amazed. Like I'm telling you, and I think every mom can say the same thing, it really is the softest cotton out there. And you can't really compare it to regular cotton. So that's how LIVLY started. Back then also, it was, especially in Sweden, either you shopped at H&M, or you would go to these fancy department stores and you would spend, a mortgage full on a baby outfit. So I saw a void in the market for a classic baby line with the softest fabrics in order to really deliver a soft life to babies out there. So for us, like the heart and core of LIVLY that started LIVLY and our promise that we are still working on till this day is to deliver softness. So there's so many chains out there that do beautiful designs, great silhouettes, but what we really stand for is the quality and our cotton. So I would say that's our core. Secondly, for me, it's so important to deliver prints that are original and dreamy. So we have an in-house studio, an art studio, where we have an illustrator who sits. We go through the inspiration together, and then everything is produced by hand, pencils and watercolors, and usually takes a while to get that perfect print. But for us, it's so worth it. I wish I would have brought something for you just to feel the difference, because it really is such a soft, unique fabric. So just the science behind it, or how it's grown. The flower's fiber is much longer, so it doesn't irritate the skin, which makes it hypoallergic, which is great for newborns. And I didn't know this when I had Liv and Lily, but kids or newborns have up to 10 times more sensitive skin than us. Yet we treat them when they come out, we bathe them and we put polyester on them, or all these things that can irritate the skin. For babies, it's hard for them to express themselves if they're uncomfortable, unless they cry, but then we think it's the food or their stomach. But a lot comes with comfort. So the Pima cotton, and it's hand-picked, which makes it even. Usually the process, if you have machines to pick the cotton, breaks the cotton fiber. But since this cotton is hand-picked, the process is so beautiful through it all. And it keeps the fiber much, much longer, which gives the result of the most amazing fabrics. So for us, like I mentioned before, like our core is definitely the fabric. But I always wanted to include that dream part, and that I want children to experience also. So for us, it was super important to have an in-house studio with watercolors and pencils where we could, experiment and make all these different characters. So that's I would say our biggest little gem that we have, that we get to do that, and we get to basically create whatever we want. And with these prints, we have these little characters that come back in many of the prints. So we have Bunny Marley, Elephant Charlie, and these are characters that are also soft toys, that we want children and kids also to feel related to and feel the softness and kindness in. Oh, wow. I'm going to say two. One is the bunny overall. It's a plush overall with Pima cotton details. And the reason why I love it is because it's so significant to what we do. We also have a Bunny Marley, our little soft toy. So this is something that stands out for Lively. You see at once that it's a Lively product, and it's a popular take me home outfit. We get a lot of tags with people wearing this. The second one is the Sleeping Cutie eyes. We have these closed eyes, and it's in our core, in our classic collection. And the reason why I love that print so much is because when I was young, when things were hard, and I grew up as a black girl in Sweden, and back then it weren't that many immigrants. So sometimes things would get real tough and you just didn't know how to navigate. And my best way to escape that was to dream, was to close my eyes and dream. If I was on I could dream myself into a Pippi Longstocking story or into the stages of the theater. So that for me means a lot. All kids should be able to dream and to believe that everything is possible. It doesn't matter what they look like or where they're from. So that one is very special to me. Oh, wow. Yes, we have Khloe Kardashian, Miranda Kerr, Kourtney Kardashian, Kristen Cavallari. Oh, God. Yeah, we have a pretty Jennifer Lopez. We've had a good list of celebrities, which has been very helpful. So growing up, we were 4 kids, so everything was always kind of hectic and busy. But the times when we really all loved it and could celebrate was when we had parties. And my mom she was amazing at themes. So I'd had a troll party one year. She would build these like 5-layer cakes with different colors. So gifting and parties or even Christmas, it's so special to me, and I love to celebrate it. So even before I had designed my first outfit for Lively, when I decided to start it, I had decided the gifting box. I know the color, I knew the structure. I wanted people to be able to pick different colored ribbons. I wanted the sticker to be perfect. So the whole gifting experience, I just thought about someone being proud of gifting someone else with it. So that was a key thing for us when we started. And especially as a mom, when you get a gift, you want something made out of love and softness. So I couldn't think of a better baby shower gift. So we've done these little sets online that are ready to go. You just have to order it online. You can get your handwritten note. You get to pick your ribbon, and it will be delivered. Oh, baby showers. I love baby showers too. And I just love the fact that we celebrate someone who's carried a baby for a very long time, or a baby that's coming. So for us, it was important also to have these kits ready that you can buy, and you know that you're getting softness, you're getting quality, you're getting everything that you had hoped to receive on your baby shower. I also feel like when I gift something, I love to know that I can gift something that's useful or will be used. And for me, I'm thinking if you're gifting Lively, you're kind of gifting future snuggle moments. You're gifting softness for this new little one who's entering the world. Or even if it's for a 1-year-old, a pajama with our dreamy prints. You just know that, soft and dreamy nights are ahead. And what's great also, I get comments sometimes on Instagram, or even friends are telling me, like, my kids, they don't want to get out of their PJs. They want to wear them to school. It's just so soft.
That's great. I wanted to ask you, what are some of your hobbies? What do you do for fun?
What I do for fun? So basketball. I used to play basketball, like 3-on-3, 4-on-4, with some guys here in Miami. But it's kind of hard to always get people together for basketball, for a full game. So I picked up tennis now also. So you will see more tennis in the collection going forward. But I also love to be with my kids. I love to travel. So this job has given me that opportunity. I've been to Peru, I've been to China, I feel like I've been all over. Or even if it's to go to Dubai to see a customer, or to Italy to a show. So traveling, new experiences is everything. Yeah.
Great.
And I love to eat Swedish candy, especially. Good question. I think that when I started Lively, my number one question was, who am I serving? And why am I doing this? The why was very important. And I feel like as a mom, you're vulnerable in a way, and you're alone. All of a sudden, you have this little baby to take care of, and you are the sole provider, especially in the beginning if you're breastfeeding and so on. So for me, it was important to create a community where mamas felt welcome and who trusted us as a brand. I'm a mom, I've been there, and I'm doing everything I can to deliver the best, softest product that you can trust. And there's so many great baby brands out there. So that's why it's so important for us to stay true to our identity and work with our cotton and deliver the softness that we've always done. But what's so great today with social media and having an e-commerce shop, I mean, when we started in 2011, we didn't have the same opportunity to deliver all over the world. Now we can. So even if you're in India or if you're in China, wherever you are, we can ship to you. So for us, it's always been word of mouth. That's really been the best marketing for us, that someone loves it, talks to their friends about it. But I would say social media today, we get to inspire and we get to meet our customer, our mom customer out there. So I would say that that's the biggest one for us in our spreading. Social media has been everything to us, especially when we opened, because it really became that community of mamas. And not only do we get to show our product, but we get to interact with her. The DMs, the comments, and often we get, feedback, tips. So it's been, social media has definitely been such an important building block in what we're doing. The basketball court was a place where, for the first time, I saw people of different backgrounds and people that looked like me. So it felt like home at once. I love basketball. It's given me so much. And just that team spirit that you get to be on, and you travel together, and there was so much growth for me. I got a scholarship and came here when I was 19. And I was recruited by Dawn Staley. So for everyone who knows basketball, they know who she is. She was the point guard for the US team. She played in the WNBA for X amount of years. She's the coach now for the Olympic team. And she won the NCAA National Championship with South Carolina this year. So she's this guru god in the basketball community. So I was recruited by her. I went to Temple where she was at the time, took a visit, and just being around a person like that was everything. I mean, she's been such an inspiration in the way she just is and inspires and leads. But I ended up going to Fordham. So I lived in New York City. And that's where later on we had our first flagship store in the US. So basketball brought me here. I ended up, after 4 years, I actually played professional for a while. I got a contract with Fiera di Roma. So I lived in Rome for a bit until I got pregnant with LIVLY. Yeah, so it was a short-lived career, but basketball till this day is, it's love. It's love. And I had hoped that all my kids would play basketball, but I have one. One of them has the same passion for it, which is awesome. Ooh, I think what I took with me, and I think that anyone who's played Division 1 or professional or even Division 2, or high school, you know that, the hours are long and you gotta put it all out there. So that's definitely something that's been with me. You can't give up. As an entrepreneur and business owner, you have to be resilient because you're gonna have doors shut in your face. Things are gonna go wrong. Production doesn't always come on time. It comes in the wrong color. So how do you overcome that, and how do you keep going? Like, you can't stop. There were many, and I think that any entrepreneur who's starting into a new field feels the same way. But one of my biggest things was that I didn't really have a background in fashion or production. I come from marketing and finance. I grew up with it. My grandma was, she was a stay-at-home mom, but we had a sewing studio at home. So she would make, for me and my siblings, our dresses, different colors to put on. So we were always very, very well dressed because of her. And then my auntie is working at the Royal Theatre in Sweden. So just growing up behind the scenes of different plays and musicals and seeing how things could be built and made with different materials was such an inspiration. So when this happened in 2008, it just felt, it was like the perfect mix of being able to be an entrepreneur and working with fabrics that I loved for little ones. Oh, wow. Store openings are always amazing because you get to meet the customer. Our last opening that we had in Gothenburg, like, I was so worried. I'm like, what if no one comes? We're not really known in Gothenburg. And then a girl called me at like 8 in the morning. The party started at 10, I think. 8 in the morning, she's like, it's already a long line. And it just went around the corner. So moments like that are huge when you really get to connect with the customer. But other great moments, when we were put on the map globally, I would say was when we got the honor to do the Princess of Sweden's flower girl dresses and page boy outfits. So that was big for us. Princess Madeline looked beautiful. She wore Valentino. And we then, together with Princess Madeline, got to design the flower girl dresses. And we got to do everything from the flower crowns, the dresses, even the socks and the shoes. So that was amazing for us. I would also say I had a couple of like dream customers. I was obsessed with Sex and the City growing up. So Sarah Jessica Parker has always been such a fashion icon to me. So one day I get this text from a friend, and I think it was from people.com, and Sarah Jessica is walking with her twin girls down the street, decked out in LIVLY. That was a real moment, and she's been so great to us. She's worn LIVLY a lot, and it's been photographed. But I would say also a real goosebump experience was when I was in New York. I just was walking down in the meatpacking district, and I see this mom with her little baby wearing LIVLY. And just that, like regular people, like mom to mom, someone had actually gone and bought this outfit or ordered it and had entrusted our brand. That was real. Oh, yeah, that's a good one, but a tough one to answer. And I think that any mom who's working, so much is asked of us today as mothers. We have to be good wives, mothers, have a good career, meet our friends, look good. There's so much. So how do you fit it all in? And I really don't think there's any more magic to it than we're trying. We're doing our best, and I try to spend as much time with my kids when I can and to be present. And then when I'm at work, to really give it my all. But it is hard. They're always on your mind, what they're doing, how they're feeling. Having 5, they get sick quite often, as you can imagine, and not always at the same time. So there's always something, but it's also the greatest love and joy that I've ever experienced. I think when I started out, I was kind of like a mompreneur. And I think we get a lot of questions about that also on social media. People are asking, you know, how did you get started? Where do I start? And I think the hardest thing for me was to start. But one thing in hindsight now after, I can say, like, you have to be passionate about what you're doing, because it's not always easy. It's not always great days, and it's hard. You also have to do your research. Just make sure that the product or the service that you're delivering, that there's a place for it in a market, there's a customer. So I would say those are the two most important ones. And then the finance part. To understand, especially when you work with production and clothing, to understand that there's a cycle of production that takes time. So you need a cash flow in order to be able to operate and to create future collections. So our plans changed a bit when COVID hit, like it probably did for most people. Before, our brand strategy was about opening stores. We felt like it was important for the customer, the mom or the gift giver, to actually come in and feel the product and get the whole LIVLY experience. But since COVID, and we saw, and as most e-commerce stores saw, that a real spike. So for us now, it's been building out the e-commerce store and to be able to deliver softness all over the world. So today it's great. We can have orders from 25 different countries, and we know they're going to be delivered within 4 to 6 days. So I came here when I was 18, 19. I came here for basketball. So this is also home now. Sweden it's definitely we have such a core audience there, and we have our stores, but the US market is huge, and we love it here. We see our customer, we know what she wants, and we know what we can deliver. So for us right now, we're doing a real push for the US, which has been amazing. So we're starting wholesale again now in the spring. So hopefully you'll see us in department stores and even in your mom and pop stores, but you can always reach us online. We do have a warehouse in Sweden for the European market, and then we have a warehouse here in the United States.